there's a version of the story of Atlantis, the city of Atlantis, which kind of goes in canon with what's happening now in the US. So Atlantis for a very long time was pure in every form. They had everything that they ever wanted. There was no vices, no sins, and no needs or wants. And everything that existed was good. There was no evil. Well, as time went on and it kept on going on, eventually those values of goodness and all the great things that are going on, they started to erode, and people started to lose hindsight and start to lose value in all of those good things, in which that ended up breeding corruption and vices and sins, and then murder, carnage, and then violence and war ultimately, until not Zeus, Poseidon, as a result of seeing that, decided to sink Atlantis. And the fundamental of that story is the sense of when all you are given is goodness and you try to eradicate all sense of evil or bad, you start to lose value of what it means to be good. And then that goodness just becomes corrupted and evil. Like how we see in all these big fiction movies where the heroes are actually the bad guys and stuff like that. And honestly, I think like what you're saying, it applies perfectly to now. We have been living in such good times for so long that our understanding and value of what our morals, ethics, and what it means to be good is eroding. We're losing sight of what that is, and we're breeding hard times as a result of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it almost it's weird, and this is why I have some trouble wondering if I'm an anarchist or not, because it's just talks like this and thoughts like this that make me wonder if we couldn't exist without bad, like the yin and the yang. There has
Yeah,
to be some bad to create good, and there has to be a little bit of each within the other in order for it to all balance out. We can't have good times without having had bad times, and we can't
exactly.
have bad times without having had good times. There can't be good men without bad men. So, does it matter? Like, does any of it
Mhm.
matter? Like, trying so hard to make things ideal seems uh futile almost, and not
Yeah,
ideal for yourself. I'm just saying,
yeah.
being one man and trying to make life ideal for everyone on earth, or everyone in a country, or everyone in a state, it seems futile, and you can see it. It's
Mhm.
so rampant actually in the military, just like being a person of power at the top of whatever hierarchical pyramid that you're at. You have to accept that things are going to fall through the cracks, that everything's not going to be 100% tight, that there's going to be some people down below you that are not following what you're saying, and that you can't make everything ideal for everybody because it's just impossible.
Exactly.
However, you can make things ideal for yourself. So I don't know. I'm
No,
not telling
yeah,
everybody. I'm not telling everybody to be selfish, but you might get a little bit farther at the end of the day if you worry about yourself a little bit more than everyone else. You know.
yeah, exactly. And I think you are pretty spot on with that because the book Secret History of the World that I already referenced, which is where I got the story of Atlantis from, kind of. But it also talked about these ancient societies, the Rosicrucians, esoterics, and the exoterics, and they would purposely subject themselves to evil. And one of their sayings was is that you cannot truly understand what it means to be good without experiencing what it means to be evil. And so, like, as I apply something like that to myself, I've had or I would say this, my pain and suffering is my unfortunate ally. It sucks that I must suffer and continue to suffer, but it is through that pain and suffering that I know and seek to be a better man, because I've had the opportunity to learn the type of person I don't want to be. I've had the opportunity to learn the life that I don't want. And it is through that suffering, through that pain, and through those evils in life that I only want to seek to be good. Like, just to go ahead and lay it out here, I believe, or say about 10 years ago, if you were to ask me what I thought of mankind, I would say that I despised it, and I would see nothing but to just let man fall. 10 years now, I absolutely 100% believe that we are truly capable of achieving infinity, in the sense that we can't achieve it, but it's almost like our purpose in life is to chase that which is infinite. I believe that yes, mankind is flawed, but by God, we are fucking beautiful. The things that we could create, the things that we could do, and the fact that we have all these lessons in life to understand why we want to move in this direction. It's just I think we're beautiful. And that's why I always have a counter opinion to people who say that mankind is nothing but a plague and an infection. No, I'm sorry, but fuck you, that's wrong. I will dedicate my life to prove to that person and to the world that we are beautiful, that we are able to achieve greatness, and that we are truly something special. Because regardless of all the bad things that are happening, especially now, regardless of all of that, what about all the beauty that we have? The miracle of life, the miracle of being able to produce art, to create something from nothing. The fact that you and I can communicate on a piece of hardware that somebody invented from hundreds, thousands miles away. Like, that's magnanimous. That's awesome. And I don't know. We need more people that has that understanding of the pain and suffering, but are willing and open to counterbalance it, and that truly believe that we could be great things. Because I will also say as well that I 100% believe that world peace is possible, regardless of how many people that will say that man is man and wars to come. Regardless, I will say no, fuck you. War will always come so long as mankind keeps the lazy assumption that war is war and that it will always continue. If we can instill the idea and the belief of peace, love, and unity into the hearts and minds of everybody in the masses, then it is achievable. But we got to go through those hard times, unfortunately, in order to reach that point.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, that went deep for you.
Well, I don't know. It's just like I think world peace is possible, but I don't know. We were just talking about it, like it takes chaos to create peace. So there has to be chaos somewhere. World
Yeah.
peace is probably going to come whenever another race of aliens comes down and attacks us all. Then we'll have human peace
Yeah.
on Earth. This world will have peace among each other, but it's because we all have a common enemy. There's peace. There isn't peace somewhere else, and it's between us and whoever Mars. If there's an alien race on Mars, then it's like, yeah, we have world peace here on Earth, but we're fighting a war on Mars.
Mhm.
So I agree and I disagree. It just comes with the yin and the yang. But
Yeah, exactly. And
to everything
I'm
else that you said, you know, um, we're fucking beautiful as shit. Like humans
Mhm.
are fucking amazing. The amount of shit that we've been able to do is better than any other being on Earth. And not to downplay them, because just like you're saying, like humans are a plague. Like if we're gonna
Mhm.
call ourselves a plague, well, like it just matters on perspective. There's probably some dude out there that studies viruses and things that are considered plagues, and he thinks they're fucking beautiful. It's his life
Mhm.
work. He's researching and studying a sickness that could kill off an entire race of whatever it is. Um, to him it's beautiful. To some people bugs are beautiful. Someone
Mhm.
who studies that type of stuff, someone who studies music thinks music is beautiful, but to someone else they might not like music at all. So
Exactly.
um yeah, and it's amazing. There's so many different things that humans have been able to achieve despite all the chaos, or maybe because of the chaos.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's what fueled someone to go do this, is because they witnessed some stark tragedy and it made them go the exact opposite way. Whereas, there's the stories of fucking silver spoon kids that were given everything and live a perfect childhood that go crazy and they become
Mhm.
serial killers. It's not impossible. It's all chance.
Yeah.
Like it all just happens, and there's an anarchy to it, and a weird cosmic balance. I think, that we can't see or perceive, you know?
Yeah, it's like a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the I know I keep on referring back to it, but the secret history of the world, it what it talked about as well, like these ancient societies, the way they believe like you go through the afterlife is that you're actually guided by Lucifer, which in ancient Christianity, Lucifer and Satan are two separate entities, but Lucifer was deemed as a necessary evil to guide you through the rings of the heavens, to have the sin and vices stripped from your soul, and then for you to enter paradise. And that the necessary evil I feel goes in canon with like what you're saying, that there's always some, to some extent, chaos that exists. And yeah, I think that right now there's like in the overall balance of things, when greatness and goodness is at its top, there'll always be some form of evil and wickedness, but it's that value that makes us want to keep pushing to be better. And like right now, I'd say in today's terms, we're starting to see a shift in it, where you're starting to see more vices, more evils, more sins, or anything of that nature is starting to gain the rise, and goodness is starting to become devalued. Or it's like the understanding of it is starting to become blurred almost. Um,
No, yeah, it's
yeah,
like I think there's very little good present in America at the least.
yeah,
It's just I don't know, it's hard to even have a genuine good conversation with anybody lately. It's it's
really, it
weird.
really
I
is.
find myself because, I stand security, so I'm at a gate or whatever for however many hours, and it's just me and a few other people. And if I'm on my phone for a second and somebody says something to me, I'm always like, okay, let me put my phone down so I can listen to what they're saying. And it's almost like it makes people uncomfortable. Like I'll put it down and then I'll look at them and I'll say like, yeah, yeah, and then I'll give my thought. And as I'm giving my thought, they pick up their phone.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they're scared to invest in a conversation and like give themselves up. And it's like where where is the humanity anymore? Like
Hmm.
we just don't. I don't know if people just don't trust others with their feet. It's just I think you're frozen.
Uh,
No, you're there.
okay, cool.
But yeah, just I don't know. It's hard to do that. It's for someone to you know bring a wallet into security to say like, hey, this is reported lost is probably very unlikely. They're probably going to raid the wallet and then ditch it in a trash can or something.
Hmm.
Lost phones, et cetera, et cetera. There's just I think it's very far and few between now that good deeds happen and that people motivate themselves in trying to be a good person. It's
Yeah.
all been muddied now and it's rampant on YouTube, I think, as well. You
Oh
can go
yeah.
on YouTube and find anything that you're interested in. If it's fitness, if it's food, if it's bugs, if it's space, you can go and find anything and someone will deliver a sweet product like with everything that you want, all the information. But I think majority of the time they're not doing it because they want to deliver you a good product, but because they want your view. They want the money. They want the subscription, you
They
know?
want to influence you in some way.
Yeah, and it's a little rough, man,
Hmm.
because I've
Yeah.
been a supporter of capitalism pretty much my whole life, but that's one of the drawbacks I feel is that we're now in a place like this, you know? And yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like it just, like you said, uh what was it? The soft during good times, soft men breed hard times. During hard times, breed hard men. I'm sorry, I butchered that hardcore, but it's very spot on, because we're heading in the direction right now of hard times, and so we're gonna start seeing great men rise. And it's what was it? What was I gonna say?
And I don't even think that great men don't exist,
Hmm.
but I think excuse me, I didn't mean to burp on your
No,
podcast.
you're fine.
I don't think it's that great men don't exist, but I think right now, just with the given uh, environment and just societal climate, that
Hmm.
they're almost ostracized and put down and deflated and devalued.
It's typically
um
the intellectuals that are targeted first.
yeah, and it's just like right now it just doesn't seem right. And I
Hmm.
don't blame society for being the way it is. It's just because there were good men and they made good times, and now that we're in good times we're going to get weak, and that's just what happens. So
And then it's almost like an amalgamation of like at like all of our history that's kind of just catching up into one single event.
yeah, yeah, history repeats itself, and it's just
Mm.
it's stark to me. We talked about it last time again, but just how often old people are right, and
Yeah.
they're right because things just repeat. Like,
Hmm.
people have been doing the same thing every day for years. It's just a different setting. Just
Hmm.
change the clothes, change the type of transportation that they use to get from point A to B,
Hmm.
whatever the most popular job was at the time. It's just little factors are changed in and out, little variables are different, but everything's still the same. It's still people trying to be happy every day,
Hmm.
and this is what we get. But the climate of the world, of politics and society and everything, obviously weigh in on that a little bit.